I gotta unmute the mic first. Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to another episode of Country Fried Minis. Tonight we're going to be diving back into some editing action, something we haven't done in a really long time around here. And it is, for those of you who don't know, this is a place where you can see behind the curtain and kind of get an idea of what goes into the video production here on Country Fried Minis. I know we don't get a lot of stuff out, but there's a ton of work and a ton of fun that goes into all of this. And at least in the past, I used to stream these up and have a lot of fun doing it, and allow chat a chance to kind of influence what goes into the production, what goes into the scripts, what goes into the scenes, the inside jokes. All of that is completely thanks to y'all out there in the audience. And I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank you so much for making this channel what it is today. And with that, we're gonna try to start bringing this place back to life, this channel, get back to the fun stuff that really started everything right here in this silly little corner of the internet. So as always, I'm Cameron, your host here on Country Fried Minis, the country boy in the big city, presenting once more from my workstation, where we're going to get stuck in working on a 10-minute Runa video. Today I've got something, I'm going to be pivoting. I've already done a little bit of voiceover work for it so far, but I'm not really happy with the timing. So we're going to try something a little different today. Instead of doing my usual, like, oh, we put this color, we put that color, we're going to do this kind of work, insert penis joke here. We're going to keep the penis jokes, but we're going to try to give thoughts about the project rather than like explaining what you're already eating with your eyes. So without further ado, let's pop on into the workflow page and get started for the evening. Where we're sitting at tonight, we've got basically the whole video is cut down. There's a few things we're missing. Yet to put this thing together. I need to film an intro segment of like putting some kind of model in a paint bag. But we've broken everything down into 3 parts at this point. So we've got like section 1, which is gluing the model to the base, priming it and putting the initial base tones on it, and that's going to cut into a placeholder screen. Then the song changes. We cut into building up layers, doing some rapid fire work, building up the tones on Runa's skin. And then we've got section 3, which is going to be final touches, doing metallics, detail work. I can't remember if we do the eyes here. I don't think we do the eyes in section 3. And then we've got section 4, which will be really brief, where we're doing the eyes. And then that, let's see, we can see right up at the top, that runs for about a minute worth of paint work. And then we cut into a grand reveal, and this video's done. So today we're going to be diving into voiceover work so we can actually get it done. And I figured, why not bring back the editing streams so we can, well, we can make jokes together and I can hold myself accountable and actually get this shit done. As it stands now, we've got, what is that? About a minute worth of voiceover, and I am not happy with it, so I'm just gonna fucking delete it. All right, so to start out, the process here we're gonna work with, let me make sure this temp audio source is paused so you guys aren't hearing that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna watch back this section here and try to get an idea of what's going on. Actually, let's go ahead and bring this in. Where's that at? Temp audio source, and then let's pause our music for a second. If I can find it. Let's pause that. Okay. Now, in theory, y'all should be able to hear this once we dig in. Let's get an overview of what's going on here. And give it some thoughts, and we'll start recording up or typing up a script. So anyhow, let's go. All right, so we're pulling out the model. We're pulling out our secret weapon base. We're going to talk about using the base that been in the collection for ages. We're going to talk a little bit about BSI and why that's good stuff and why I recommend it. We're going to talk about, I believe we go right into priming right after this. So we're going to talk about why airbrush priming is cool, why I like to use it. And then I think from there what we do is we go into some zenithal work. So I might wax over like why zenithal is mostly a waste of time, and the intention behind it. Another Knight says, dude, I'm a moderator. What do you mean? What do you mean? I know you're a moderator. I'll redeem a Popcat as well. Popcat. So this whole section, we're just like wasting that zenithal, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit, just a bit. So you can censor the nudes. Oh, I see. How much censoring do we need though? Honestly, like I'm kind of all for the bare minimum censoring of those nudes. All right, looks like we get into a little bit of mixing, and I think like it's just going to continue with more of that. So there's not much to review before we go into it. I think the intention here is to kind of separate the thoughts about the project from what's going on the screen. Because like if you're watching the video, you're seeing what's going on. Redeem nudes. Redeem nudes. Oh man, ADHD powers activate. Let's check Vecteezy. Let's do it. Welcome to Country Fried Mini Stream, where little comments in chat derail the whole project. If this is your first time catching one of these via the algorithm after the fact, let me know in the comments down below. And make sure to keep an eye out. Subscribe to the channel to see updates as to when we're doing these things. Maybe somebody doing the cheese wheel thing? I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. We don't talk about cheese around here. I think that's it right there. I think that's our nudes right there. Let's make it happen. All right. So that should take just a second to download. I think we're going to have to convert the MOV, unfortunately. But let's make it happen. What's the audio for that, though? What's the audio? What's the audio for that, Mr. Nate? Actually, if you want to do me up a short voice clip of the sexy Nate voice talking about wet, hot nudes, you send it my way. We can keep it short, like 5 or 6 seconds. I'd appreciate it. Not to make demands of you, mister. Alright, let's temporarily save our Runa video. And let's pop in a new project. I've been babinked. Babink is live. Alright, what was on this screen? It was that. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna pop in a new nudes. We're gonna pop it in there. Let's temporarily close our Runa project. Let's save it. We're gonna close it. Boom. Let's see how quickly we can do this and get back on track. Close project. Boom, booyakachow. Alright, so I think the way to do this is to just import that download and see if it works first off. So we'll just pull that right in. You know what? It looks like it's gonna work. Alright, so I think we'll make this one how long? I think we're gonna make it like 6 seconds. 6 seconds is fine. Yep. We'll do it 7 seconds, and what we'll do is we're gonna put a fade out on the back end. So let's pop in here, let's do effect controls. We're gonna drop a keyframe for our opacity right there. And then we're gonna pop the down button and go to the end, and we're gonna drop a keyframe right there, drop that to 0. So it's gonna go blow. All right, that's it. That's all we need for this. So we're gonna export this bad boy to media. Let's send it to desktop, and we're gonna call it nudes. No audio. Bow. In the meantime, let's dig up a an image here. Let's get some super sexual nudes.
Spicy nudes. Hot, moist, spicy nudes.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so let's pop open Audacity. You got a little bit of like a... No, that's the wrong damn program. You got a little bit of a background sound that I'm going to try to pull out of that file. No. Oh, no. Let's pop that open. I gotta convert it. Let's convert our M4A to MP3. Let's do that first. All right. Mania, engage. Nudes, convert to MP3. Perfect. That's so fucking good, Nate. That's outrageously good. Let's find our MP3 right there. Bow. And oh, you got a dual track going on here. Could we maybe just like get rid of the track, the top track? I'm pretty sure there's a way to like we could maybe just isolate the noise there. Let's do noise removal repair. Let's reduce the noise. We'll get that noise profile and then we'll select the whole thing. And let's remove that noise and see what it looks like. Sup, Country Fried? What's up, Mr. Mako Helios? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Yes. Soar ASF. I imagine as much. Alright, so we're going to export this audio. Actually, I need to bring down the... how do we bring down the... I want like a hard limiter. There's got to be like a volume setting. Yeah, let's pop in a limiter. That's super loud. Let's bring that down to my normal like YouTube level of -12 and give that a listen. No. Ooh, holy moly. I think I'm not really understanding this. Let's put this down to -12. There it is. Alright, so we're going to bring our -5... We're going to bring our 0 down to like -8. Let's see what that... It's a little too much, so we're going to make it up down to 5. That's getting closer. That's getting way closer. Let's pop that down to -3. I actually really dig that the audio here got... Either it was like a mono format that got converted to stereo, or it's a stereo recording from one channel, but it's only in my right ear, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's export that audio. We're gonna call this nudes audio MP3. Export it. Bow. Let's do that. Let's find us an image. Let's find us an image here for the nudes. I went like a... I think it was Bluetooth and phone mic simultaneously. That checks out. Better. I want like... Can we get like steaming noodles? Steaming noodles. That's pretty good right there. That one's pretty good. Let's pop that into paint.net and see what we can do with it. Pow. Let's crop to selection. What's the height on this? It's 438, so we're going to bring the whole image into 438. I want that steam. All right. Crop to selection. It's a nice square image. It looks weird. It looks taller than it is wide, but it is in fact 438 by 438. Let's draw some stuff over top of it. What do y'all think? Pink, right? It's got to be pink, suggestive of pink things. I don't know what could possibly be pink. Let's do hot. And then we'll do like, no, that's too big. Let's make that 10. And we're gonna do hot. And then we're gonna say nudes. Like this. And then we're gonna cross through it and say nudes. Z or S? Oh, hey. It's that wig you wore in a stream long ago in a bullshit corner far, far away. Ah, yes. Nudes? Is nudes Z? Yeah, it is Z, isn't it? Nudes. There we go. Bam. Done. It's decided. Actually, it is not quite decided because I want a, I want like a darker layer like that underneath, and then we're gonna blur that out a little bit. Let's do a Gaussian and just make it real big like that, and then we can pull that underneath here, and then we have that little bit of dark shadow dropped. All right, we should be ready to do the hot nudes now. Let's pop that on the desktop. Nudes thummy. All right. I wonder if this is gonna work. I wonder if we have enough space. Who does the redemptions? It's StreamLabs, I think. Let's log in over here. If any of y'all screen grabbed that email, if you send anything to it, it'll get ignored. Use the email on the YouTube page. Okay, so we want a store item. We need to create a new item, and we're going to call it Hot Nudes. And it's going to be called the name says it all. Suggestive. Steamy. Satisfying. Alright, we're going to do this. Cost is, of course, it's 69. And we're going to put a what are we going to do? We're going to do like a fucking 300-second global cooldown, and then we're going to put a 450 user cooldown. I think that's about right. Okay, thumbnail image, we need to pop one in. No. I need the upload button. Let's pop that in there. That's what she said. Let's stick our nudes thummy in here. Bam, select it. Let's get our audio file in there too. Nudes audio. Bow, we're gonna grab it. Nudes audio. Redeem via chat. It's nudes. Okay, it's not ready yet though. Not ready yet. So we still got to do some other stuff. Don't test yet. We got to pop in a CloudBot redemption. We're gonna add. We gotta add a new variation. Add a new variation. Okay, it's gonna be called nudes. Nudes. Add. All right, we gotta save it. We gotta grab a few things here. We want text color correct. We want text color correct. Save. We want that, save, and then this needs to be, what's the font? It's called Alpha Slab 1 at font weight 400 and 64px size. Let's get our alpha. ALF. Alpha. Alpha Slab 1. This needs to be 64. Boom. And it's going to say name demands some steamy, wet, hot nudes. All right. Condition is, item is name, nudes. Layout should be text over image. Text over image. Shit, I didn't save the fucking... Oh, no. Alright. Demands some steamy, wet, hot nudes. Alert duration is 7 seconds. Alright, save. And then we pop in nudes audio, select. And that should be live. Let's confirm that it's on the store page, because we may be in the territory of like overriding stuff at this point. All right, let's see here. Country Fried Minis is offline. Country Fried Minis is not offline, CloudBot. You're wrong. First off, you're wrong. You're wrong. Wrong. See, cream is on cooldown. It's, you know what? It looks like it's there. Mr. Nate, why don't you give it a test? Exclamation point redeem NOODZ. And I think we're good on that, and we can go back to work. Let's close this project. I want to open Runa. Let's see. Here we go. I'm not hearing it. Damn it. I think that's my bad. Yep. I left out a step. This is why we test. Only leash your paint mixture? You mean like this? Okay, so now I gotta test this this way. I'll tell you whose cat needs a brushing. It's mine.
Hot, moist, spicy news.
Okay, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's just on cooldown right now. Nudes is live. Thank you, Mr. Nate, for the idea and the submission. All right, where are we at? We're 30 minutes in. That's about tradition around here to actually get to work. Who the heck is messaging me? Okay. I think what we're going to do now then is we're actually going to get to work, and we need to talk about what are we talking about? We're tossing in like holy shit, the desync is insane. How far behind is it? YouTube is also really notorious for like getting further and further and further behind. I've got it on ultra low latency, but it's not great. Let's see, where are we sitting at on Comcast functionality today? Looks like we've got full speed, so hopefully it stays 3 minutes. Holy shit. That's not good. That's pretty bad. All right, so we're gonna say something like yeah, I have to like I have to come in every now and then and like click the little live button down here at the bottom to keep it caught up. Okay, we're gonna say something like okie day, folks. Today we're diving into another pinup in the shape of this here in the shape of Runa Dwarven Beauty by Artisan Guild. And let's double check that that's the right one. I'll put a link in the description too. Let's do Artisan Guild Runa. Yeah. Boom. There you go. We'll put a link to the chat. We'll put a link in the description for people to get one. She's a really fun, really fun sculpt with huge personality, and is the perfect model to dive in. I've already said diving in. We gotta say something else. This is the perfect model to she's a wealthy landowner. Yes, she has huge tracts of land. She's a really fun sculpt with huge personality, and is the perfect model to practice some classic practice. Practice. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say something like fantasy model techniques on. Get to practice getting deep into some classic fantasy textures. She's got lots of exposed skin, alongside leather and metal and stone and wood. Plus, it's another thirsty ass busty pinup, while also it's another thirsty ass busty pinup model that is this time quite usable in your own fantasy RPG adventures. Look, she even has armor and a weapon. And what's that cask in D&D? It's like ever-flowing cask of ale or something. Ever-flowing cask D&D. It's infinite beer magic item D&D. I'm pretty sure it's a thing. It's a tankard? I thought it was a cask. Oh, here we go. We could just call it a decanter of endless ale. We just call it a decanter of endless ale. That's what we'll do. And a representation of that ever useful, wondrous item, the decanter of endless ale. All right, let's record that up and see where it puts us. Let's create a new project. No. Here we go. All right. Hopefully this isn't too loud for y'all. I have the limiter on, but I'm about to emote the voice. Let's put on Country Fried Minis, y'all. Okie day, folks. That was squeaky. That was squeakier than normal. Yeah, they're a whole bunch. Okay. Okie day, folks. Today we're diving into another pinup in the shape of Runa Dwarven Beauty by Artisan Guild. And then I don't want to get breathy inhales in here, so we're going to stop after each sentence, I believe. She's a really fun sculpt with huge personality and is the perfect model to practice getting deep into some classic fantasy textures. Excellent. She's got lots of exposed skin alongside leather and metal and stone and wood. Plus, it's another thirsty ass busty pinup model that is quiet. That is a very unnatural sentence. Plus, it's another thirsty at... Why can't I see? There we go. That is this time... Plus, it's another thirsty-ass busty pinup model that is this time quite usable in your own... Ahem. What's up, Mr. Phantom Harlock? Hope you're doing well. Alright, let's see if we can do... I'm going to capitalize that so that I make a point to say the thing. Fantasy textures. She's got lots of exposed skin alongside leather and metal and stone and wood. Plus, it's another thirsty-ass busty pinup model that is this time quite usable in your own fantasy RPG adventures. Look, she even has armor and a weapon and a representation of that ever-useful wondrous item, the decanter of endless ale. Now I want to take this audio and edit together all the breathing. Yeah. That would be pretty good. I could see doing a short. First off, let's save this first. Let's save this project as... Let's save as voiceover project. Let's erase all that other work. The project was not saved because the file name provided would overwrite another project. Oh, fuck you. The whole point of save as is for me to do that. You absolute dickhead of a program. Are there any other... Can you guys think of another piece of software that says, nuh-uh, I'm not going to overwrite that? That's fucking ridiculous. Alright, we're going to just delete that folder. Boom. Suck my butt. And we're going to save to computer as voiceover project. Like I said the first time. Yes, yes. Okay. Where does that go? Runa, Dwarven Beauty. We're going to call it Runa Track 1. We're going to export it. Yep, we're going to replace it. All right, let's toss it in here. Where's our project panel? There we go. And we're going to slap our track 1 down here. And let's go ahead and give this a hard limiter effect. Hard limiter. And then, of course, usually my voice is a little much for the sound balance. So we're also going to give it a -5 dB here. All right, let's pause our music here. Beep. And we're going to watch this back, and I think our audio is on. It should be. And let's pop in and see how that works. Dwarven Beauty by Artisan. Wait a second. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Did that fuck up somehow? Okie day, folks. Today we're diving into another pinup in the shape of Runa Dwarven Beauty by Artisan Guild. She's a really fun sculpt with huge personality and is the perfect model to practice getting deep into some classic fantasy textures. She's got lots of exposed skin alongside leather and metal and stone and wood. Plus, it's another thirsty-ass busty pinup model that is this time quite usable in your own fantasy RPG adventures. Look, she even has armor and a weapon and a representation of that ever-useful wondrous item, the decanter of endless ale. Alright, okay. So, let's riff off of the thirst there. This magic item is sure to... What's the word to fulfill your thirst? Is it slake? Redeem Popcat. I want to redeem Popcat. I'm going to do that too. Is sure to slake... Sate? I think sate is hunger. I'm pretty sure it's slake. The spell? Wait, that's a spell? Oh. Sate. Spell. D&D. D&D. It's not coming up. I'd have to dig it out of probably some old stuff there. Slake definition. Yeah, that's what I thought. To quench one's thirst is to slake. Okay. All right, let's do that. This magic item is sure to slake the thirst that our sexy little lass will induce in the belly of the beholder. Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive. I was unsure if my spelling. Oh, okay. No, I totally could believe that Sate is a spell, like some old school D&D stuff. I cast Sate. It's like a shitty a shittier version of a good berry. Like, it just removes the hunger. It removes the hunger feeling instead of actually fulfilling you. Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive warrior down on this swag bag base by secret weapon that's been kicking around my collection for at least 6 million years now, and lock her in place forever with a generous dollop of some extra thick super glue. Cured instantly. Cured instantly with a dribble or two of some BSI Insta Set. Ready to move on in on the standard fare in the form of how far in do we got to go till we hit priming? Oh, we're right there. Standard fare in the form of a unifying primer coat of Stynel Res Gray, followed up with some heavy dry brushing. Heavy dry brushing of... Is that, what color was that? Is it Vallejo white, or did I use ivory? Beep, 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 beep. It's white. Of 70.951 Vallejo white. I think here I was kinda going for a bit of a slap choppy approach rather than a zenithal coat. Ever with the intention of working with some what am I going for here? Ever with the intention of working with some translucent tones to take advantage of that underpainting. Of course, as is tradition around here, we're gonna just overpaint it and basically negate any kind of advantage that this Grisai Aille, I think is how you spell it, pre-paint would deliver to our what's a good synonym for painting? Incoloration. In colorative endeavors. That's what we're gonna do. All right, let's dive into it. This magic item is sure to slake the thirst of our no, it's that. I also have a huge peak right there. I gotta bring it back down a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Also, one of these. This magic item is sure to slake the thirst that our sexy little lass will induce in the belly of the beholder.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive warrior blah 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 blah. Those are words. Those are words. Those are good words. We'll slap our diminutive warrior down on this swag bag base by secret weapon. Diminutive warrior. Why is that so hard to say? Diminutive warrior. Diminutive warrior. Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive warrior down on this swag bag base by secret weapon that's been kicking around my collection for at least 6 million years now and lock her in place forever with a generous dollop of some extra thick superglue cured instantly with a dribble or two of some BSI Instaset. Holy shit, that's I gotta do the that's a fucking run-on sentence. Let's see if I can do it. We got to do this whole thing right here. Woo. We got to oxygenate. Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive warrior down on this swag bag base by secret weapon that's been kicking around my collection for at least 6 million years now and lock her in place forever with a generous dollop of some extra thick super glue. God damn it, I stumbled on glue. One more time. We could always put a pause here, but I love the like the long-winded, insane breathiness that I'm able to achieve every now and then. So we're gonna go for it here. Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive warrior down on this swag bag base by secret weapon that's been kicking around my collection for at least 6 million years now and lock her in place forever with a generous dollop of some extra thick super glue cured instantly with a dribble or two of some BSI Instaset, ready to move on in on the standard fare in the form of a unifying primer coat of Stymylrez Gray followed up with some heavy dry brushing of 70.951 Vallejo White. Holy moly, we got it. I think I'm going to pass out. Okay. I've been bebinked. Who's bebinking? Well, 1 second, y'all. Let me respond to this. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. Let me pop this back up. Here we go. What was I doing? Where am I at? Oh yeah, it's this one. There's a YouTuber called Reckless Ben who goes after scammers and stuff, who sounds like he has asthma. His breathing is part of the show at this point. Yeah, exactly. Hey, is my progress bar broken? Y'all see that, right? Ah, there it is. I turned it off. I think here I was kind of going for a bit of slap choppy approach, a bit of a slap choppy approach, a slap choppy approach, a bit of a. I think here I was kind of going for a bit of a slap-choppy approach rather than a zenithal coat, ever with the intention of working with some translucent tones to take advantage of that underpainting. Of course, as is tradition around here, we're just going to overpaint it and basically negate any kind of advantage that this grisaille pre-paint would deliver to our colorative endeavors. Dude, look at those fucking peaks, man. Maybe I should back off the mic a little bit. For fuck's sake, dude. Alright, let's hit this loud. Yeah, that's why I gotta do both the hard limiter and the actual volume reduction. Alright, they should have updated this? Why did that not? Did that get exported as a weird file name? Bam, bam, bam. Do you have a compressor? I don't know what that is, sir. I need to learn more about audio. All right. Let's pause our music. Where were we at before? We're just going to start it right here. Let's watch it back and see how we're faring. Of that ever useful. God damn, that's loud. Do I have it reduced on your end? Okay. I do have it reduced on your end. YouTube is going to compress it down too. It's a plugin that normalizes loud and quiet. I can do compression in Audacity. There's definitely a compressor in there. Boom. I could run a compressor here. I use it sometimes when I compress the shit out of it and stomp it down to make it sound like fucking 8-bit audio. All right, let's run this. Let's run this back. Let's see how this works. Wondrous item, the decanter of endless ale. This magic item is sure to slake the thirst that our sexy little lass will induce in the belly of the beholder. Anyhow, we'll slap our diminutive warrior down on this swag bag base by secret weapon that's been kicking around my collection for at least 6 million years now and lock her in place forever with a generous dollop of some extra thick super glue cured instantly with a dribble or two of some BSI Instaset, ready to move on in on the standard fare in the form of a unifying primer coat of Stynylrez Res Gray followed up with some heavy dry brushing of 70.951 Vallejo White. I think here I was kinda going for a bit of a slap-choppy approach rather than a zenithal coat, ever with the intention of working with some translucent tones to take advantage of that underpainting. Of course, as is tradition around here, we're just gonna overpaint it and basically negate any kind of advantage that this grisaille pre-paint would deliver to our colorative endeavors. Colorative endeavors, holy shit, that's not even real words. Alright. Oh my god. So they got way behind of what's going on, but then it got caught back up. I think the problem here is that I was really I was rushing through the footage trying to basically pack what would be a 25-30 minute long video into a 10-minute mini episode. So we're just going to kind of abandon trying to talk about what's happening on the screen, although I'm falling back into it. I want to talk more about the theory this time around, so we can maybe steer it into that as we go forward here. I'm okay with that. I like the 6 million years now joke. I like the reference to decanter of endless ale. I think here we can probably waffle on about zenithal coats. We could do something like as y'all saw with those colors, the contrast paint on the barrel definitely captures the undercoating, the undercoating's gradient, but the skin tones just obliterate anything that would be given over by a zenithal, or slapping, or a choppy slapping. Good old editing stream today. Yeah, getting back into it. Grim. Trying to bring things back to life around here. Welcome to the stream. We're doing some voiceover for Runa. Tomorrow we're probably looking at more painting. I got to get this Fiverr order out, and then I'm going to be diving into those Derek's Red Devils. I'm way behind, but I think I'm determined to bring shit back to life around here. Stream work is dream work. Yes. Stream work is dream work. Yes, dream work. Yes, we do dream work around here. What do we do one of these? Can you tell us why the painters all over YouTube? Gonna paint. Yes. Lizard. We'll say slapped chop. Starting point. I still contend that there's maybe some value in picking out the raised areas as you go into the project. But honestly, gotta bust out the editing rituals of resurrection. You're gonna love my nuts. Is that not going? Is it really not? It's in the queue. Maybe the thing is thinking. And while that Tangia thinks, make sure to check it out if you want to throw some tips over at the stream. Tangia pays out 80% of what's given, and shenanigans are as little as 15 cents. If you're so far, there it goes.
Can you tell us why the painters all over YouTube insist that a Zenithal Prime is the way to go, even though they're just going to paint over that pre-painting? Is it some kind of collective delusion wherein people think they are better at painting minis than they actually are? Oh, sugar, it's like riding a bike.
What is this oh sugar thing,
Zenithal
dude?
Prime and gives you a guide with highlights and shadows so you don't end up painting your mini like a toddler's art project. It ain't a delusion. It's just a handy-dandy reference.
I'm actually in the process of typing basically what he's saying right now.
For your colors, so you're not lost in a sea of paint. Plus, it makes you look like a painting wizard in the end.
Fucking ridiculous.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little help.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Holy moly. What are we saying? I contend there's some value in picking out the raised areas as you go. That you're waxing poetic about the values of a zenithal prime as you cover up that useful guide and just go on about your own path through the mini painting process. It stands to reason that you could probably save some headache and claw back a bit of that time investiture by just bypassing that wasted step after your prime job. Embrace the inner art.
Grim donated a $5 super chat. Stream chat must cast Nuts of Might to boost the
Nuts
vibes.
of
Banana
Might.
peanuts.
Peanuts. All you gotta do is learn to paint good. Yeah, we're actually gonna embrace the inner artist that lives within your gumption. Lives within your lives within your brain meats. Lives within your brain meats and expresses itself through well-defined neuronal activity, osmosis. And if you ain't yet a seasoned artiste through osmotic absorption of endless hours of YouTube fed brainwashing. Alls you gotta do is just learn to paint good. Yes. There we go. All right. Where the fuck were we at? Is this... We're doing all of this right now, ain't it? Yeah. Also, I got distracted. But I need to do this. Tell us how to cast Nuts of Might. Is that right? Is that what you were asking for? Nuts of Might, yes. Describe the effects of the spell as well. Let's do this. Bam. Let's see what... Now, see, this would be a perfect one for an AI DM Steve to do. We got to get you to train an AI model, sir. A voice model. I have a script for you, if you'd be so inclined. All right, let's dive into it. Let's save our project. Pop this open. And get going in colorative endeavors. As y'all saw with those colors, the contrast paint on the barrel definitely captures the undercoating's gradient, but the skin tones just obliterate anything that would be given over by a zenithal or slap chop starting point. Clone DM. Yeah, it's like
Country Fried Minis.
Oh, there it goes.
Tell us how to cast Nuts of Might. Describe the effects of the spell as well.
Let's
the
see.
Legendary Nuts of Might spell. To cast it, you must first gather a handful of enchanted walnuts from the tallest tree in the forest of brown green. Hold them high under the light of a full moon and enchant nutty strength, heed my plight, grant me power, nuts of might. This spell grants the caster temporary Herculean strength, enough to lift a lawnmower with one hand, and let's not forget an insatiable craving for peanut butter. Use wisely.
So, Nuts of Might gives you Herculean strength, but also curse you with an insatiable craving for peanut butter. Alright. Very nice. Where the fuck were we at? Starting point, okay. I still contend that there's maybe some value in picking out the raised areas as you go into the project, but honestly, if you're so far along in your painting career that you're waxing poetic about the values of a zenithal prime as you cover up that useful guide and just go on about your own path through the mini painting process, it stands to reason that you could probably save some headache and claw back a bit of that time investiture by just bypassing. I need more air for that. Holy shit. That's a lot. God damn, that's loud. The AI reduced Nate's accent. I think when Nate trained it, he maybe did a very metered training. And of course, it does flatten things out. As we saw with the Attenborough. Here, let's just to remind people. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's do this here. Let's just run this through Attenborough. Let's just run this through right now. And you can see how much it flattens out an accent, or like what people sound like. You can train another one with heavy accent. I tried. I really exaggerated mine.
Today we're diving into another pin-up in the shape of Runa, Dwarven Beauty by Artisan Guild. She's a really fun sculpt with huge personality and is the perfect model to practice getting deep into some classic fantasy texture.
Yeah.
She's got lots of exposed skin alongside leather and metal and stone and wood. Plus it's another thirsty-ass busty pin-up model that is this time quite usable in your own fantasy RPG adventures.
Yeah. See, it kind of sounds like Attenborough. Of course, you just give him one of these. There we go. There you go. That costs $0.25, by the way, y'all. Just 25 cents. I mean, Nate.
Penis.
Yes. Damn. That's a lot of words there. Here, let's do it again. I still contend that there's maybe some value in picking out the raised areas as you go into the project, but honestly, if you're so far along in your painting career that you're waxing poetic about the values of a zenithal prime as you cover up that useful guide and just go on about your own path through the mini painting process, it stands to reason that you could probably save some headache and claw back a bit of that time investiture. Okay, my brain short-circuited as I was trying to say bypassing. I still contend that there's maybe some value in picking out the raised areas as you go into the project, but honestly, if you're so far along in your painting career that you're waxing poetic about the values of a zenithal prime as you cover up that useful guide and just go on about your own path through the mini painting process, it stands to reason that you could probably save some headache and claw back a bit of time investiture by just bypassing that wasted step after your prime job. There we go. Embrace the inner artist that lives within your brain meats and expresses itself through well-defined neuronal activity through your fingertips. And if you ain't yet a seasoned artiste through osmotic absorption of endless hours of YouTube-fed brainwashing, all you gotta do is just learn to paint good. There we go. There we fucking go. Yay! We're gonna save this. We're gonna export that audio as Runa. So, something that's tripping me up about this Audacity is every time they do a fucking update to Audacity, they change some functionality. So right there, it changes the default export name to the same name as the project file, which it used to not do. I used to be able to just do this in like 2 clicks. It's like, why do you change it? Why do you change it? Also, the whole like refuses to overwrite things. That's silly. That's silly. That's silly. Okay, so we're waxing about the Zenithal work. And we need to fill in how much more time here we need to fill. 253 through 338. So a little less than another minute. See if we can't fill that up with another like run on. What can we talk about now? We'll say digressing. I'm obviously not above that brainwashed thinking perpetrated by people on the internet pretending that they know what they're talking about when they tell you how to rub pigments all over your miniature simulacrums of busty dwarven adventurers. I haven't opened Audacity in like a year. I miss Cubase. I've never heard of Cubase. Never heard of it. So, once again, I've walked right into the trap of pretending that the slap chop undercoat did any good in the process. Remember, folks, if you want to actually get anything. I don't think I'd say anything. I think I'd say anything. If you actually get anything out of this grisaille method, you gotta keep those tones purely translucent. It's best served by speed paints or contrast colors. Instead of trying to thin out traditional opaque acrylics. Save yourself some headache and learn from my mistakes here, and maybe don't be so quick to believe some nonsense fed into your process by talking heads on the interweb. It ain't exactly misinformation. It ain't exactly misinformation, but I think that some of these creators, myself included, just can't see the forest for the trees, or the pigment for the paints, or something like that. It used to be a hot dog. I guess it still exists, but I have to pay for it. Hot dog? Like a hot dog? Like a hot dog. Hot dog. All right. Hot dog. Yeah, we still need to use that clip somehow, Mr. Nathan. I swear I'll get around to it at some point. Also, did you see my 10-foot pole? All right, here we go. Let's get this going and see how far over this runs, and then we can maybe adjust the audio work. Digressing, I'm obviously not above that brainwash thinking perpetrated by people on the internet pretending that they know what they're talking about when they tell you how to rub pigments all over your miniature simulacrums of busty dwarven adventurers. So once again, I've walked right into the trap of pretending that the slap chop undercoat did any good in the process. Remember, folks, if you want to actually get anything out of this grisaille method, you got to keep those tones purely translucent. It's best served by speed paints or contrast colors instead of trying to thin out traditional opaque acrylics. Bam! Country fried wisdom. Right in your butthole, like the bees. You look like the kind of guy that eats hot dogs sideways. No, I eat them the long way. Can't see the buttholes for the bees. Yeah, you're right. Or the butthole for the bees, or something like that. God damn, that's perfect, dude. For fuck's sake. Save yourself some headache and learn from my mistakes here, and maybe don't be so quick to believe some nonsense fed into your process by talking heads on the interweb. It ain't exactly misinformation because there's some truth to the statements. I need to add it ain't exactly misinformation because there is some value in the zenithal approach sometimes. It ain't exactly misinformation because there is some value in the zenithal approach sometimes, but I think that some of these creators, myself included, just can't see the forest for the trees, or the butthole for the bees, or something like that. There we go. Perfect. Export audio. Misinterpreted sarcasm is a thing that happens. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that's why the slash... What is it? /s. Because people have to have sarcasm spelled out because we're all so terminally online that everybody's neurodivergent anymore. At what point does that just become normalcy?
Grim donated a $5 super chat. Sir, it is very rude to tell people what they do with their pigments dragon peanuts.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thank you for the generous dono, Grim. For what it is worth, Senor, if you check the Tangia link, you can say text to speech much, much cheaper. It just might be in Hank Green's or David Attenborough's voice. All right, let's run this and see how far over we went with it. We could pack some more words in, or we might have to take some out. Let's see. Oh, it's way too much. Fuck. I want to keep the whole thing about the butthole for the bees in there, though. How much we got to take out? How much of this script do we have to get rid of? Could I just remove the save yourself? We could pull out, remember folks, if you want to get anything out of this Grisai method, we could pull that one out. I think that's what we're getting rid of right here. Is this it? Yep. Zip, zap, zippy, zap, zap. Get rid of that. Pachow. Damn it. Very fine pigments. 37% pigments. What are we looking for? We're looking for wet pigments. About 8% moist. That's about right, actually. They have to be shelf stable, so you got to pull the moisture out. It is a dry rub. Ooh, looky there. That was just right. All right, let's watch that segment back right here. We're going to pause this for a second. Let's pop this back, see how it worked out. See how it worked out there. Digressing, I'm obviously not above that brainwash thinking perpetrated by people on the internet pretending that they know what they're talking about when they tell you how to rub pigments all over your miniature simulacrums of busty dwarven adventurers. So once again, I've walked right into the trap of pretending that the slap chop undercoat did any good in the process. Save yourself some headache and learn from my mistakes here, and maybe don't be so quick to believe some nonsense fed into your process by talking heads on the interweb. It ain't exactly misinformation because there is some value in the zenithal approach sometimes, but I think that some of these creators, myself included, just can't see the forest for the trees, or the butthole for the bees, or something like that. Yeah, cool. That's fucking 30% of this done. Bam, we're gonna drop a save point right here. And I'm gonna turn this music back on. I'm gonna hit the BRB screen. I'm gonna go take a piss, and I'll be right back, y'all. Can't see the butthole for the bees. You can't see the butthole for the bees. You peeing on the people, man, right now? No. No, but we are about to engage in everybody's favorite segment. And that is, did I wash my hands? And while you think about that, I'm going to enjoy some pretzels. Shout out to my sister who sent me this for my birthday. Let's see if I can get this on the camera where y'all can see it. Yes, it's backwards, of course. Okay. The answer is, you'll never know if I wash my hands or not. You can use your own imaginations there. Am I licking the pee off my fingertips? All right, what are we doing now? What's this segment here? What's going on here? Let's pause the music. Let's watch this back for a second. Let's see what segment 2 is all about. So we're diving into layering. We're starting to work on our glazing tones. Do you pee on your hands? I'll never admit. But it is maybe how I ensure that it gets in the bowl. You see, I got a cauliflower-headed wing, and it goes in like 12 directions. So you got to do like it's like a cupping motion, you know? Like, so imagine you got the pee-pee, right? And then you gotta like give it one of these motions so that it goes like through the fingers into the bowl. You have to hold the base. No, I'd go in like 12 directions. All right, so we're glazing here. We're doing glazing work. Let's see, is our connection holding up? Connection's holding true. There we go, lovely. You know, every time you cut the tip off, it grows back two in its place. Those who know about the goat pin would know. All right. Running the shotgun blast mod on that peen? Kind of. It's more like kind of a omnidirectional like tip. It's kind of it's like split. It forks. It's bifurcated like 30 times over. In fact, it comes right back at me if I don't hold it. You gotta do the cup motion. You see, you get that little slit in between the third and the fourth finger, and it just kind of directs it into the bowl. I'm lying to you all, of course. I only ever pee in the shower. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. That's enough with the whole zenithal thoughts here. And on into the actual meat of our process of toning up the meat of our last. Did my comment get auto-modded because I typed peen out in full? It's possible. That's you got to do the penis like that. Cause I don't see it. No, I see it right there. That's like a guts oni peen. Now, you know who will say, someone will say penis. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna do it. Nope, nope, nope. I'm gonna contain myself here. I'm gonna contain myself. Let's actually ask this guy. How would you feel about y'all don't even know. Let's do that one. We'll do that one. We'll do that one. I dialed it back like 97%. Oh. I think Firefox is locked up. I think YouTube may have just tried to feed an ad. I think YouTube may have just tried to feed an ad to my tab here, so it broke it. Let's relaunch a new tab. There we go. YouTube's been getting real aggressive on the like anti-ad block measures. What the fuck am I talking about? Here we go.
How would you feel about hot dogs shooting out the tip of your bifurcated peen? Oh, honey, I reckon
what
that'd
is
be
the
quite a
oh honey
spectacle,
thing?
like a carnival sideshow. But honestly, I ain't quite sure what I'd do with a situation like that. I suppose it might make for an interesting BBQ party, though I think I'd stick to using the old grill for my cookouts. Ain't that something?
What the fuck? Alright, okay. We're gonna do the majority of the work here by using super thinned paints and building up some glazes all over her curves to develop highlights, shadows, redness, and highlight, shadows, and redness. Given the model, building up some glazes, giving the model some variation of tone as to not only create visual interest, but also to render a suggestion of liveliness in our I'm looking for like a thought here to talk about, to suggest like to suggest she's like a posed model. looking for like something like a positioned opposed? No, she's not opposed. We're not opposed to it. We're rubbing color all over her. We're in a suggestion and liveliness of our... I want a phrase that suggests that the designer put some like brain power or some consideration into her posing. Alliteration is always good as well. A possum? She's not an opossum, she's a dwarf. Man, I love Avalo. Opponent? No. Ooh, opulent, almost. Opulence in the right direction. I could just say something like well proportioned posed pinup. No, it's too much. Our well proportioned pinup. We'll just say that. Moment of life captured in her. Ample. Let's say amply endowed still life of a pinup perched atop her perched atop her girthy keg. Ample assets. Amply endowed still life of a pinup perched atop her girthy keg. Yeah, we'll rock with that. Okay. Though this is clearly a model made for the stereotypical male gaze, it doesn't mean that we can't take a little extra effort to ensure that the paint quality reads as beautiful, even while plastered all over this beauty. Just because the mini is kind of cringe doesn't mean that the work you put into your rendition needs to be cringe. In fact, I dare say when painting up a pinup, it really behooves. What is the definition of behooves actually? What's the actual use of behoove? Behoove. A duty or responsibility for someone to do something. It is incumbent on. Okay, I think that's right. Not cringe, just cheese. We don't have any cheese though. No cheese here. No cheese. Just that. Where's my water? Is that thing gonna work? It ain't playing. Didn't wash your cheese. Are you saying that there's dick cheese on my fingers? Okay. Our hot nudes are broken. We gotta fix that. It's the feats of bees that live in temperate grasslands. Cow bees. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's going on the fucking Discord right now. That's going in general. That lives here now. The fuck is that even supposed to mean? Where did we break? Runa's definitely cheesecake. Ah, yes. Yes. What was cringe? Yes, we want a little bit of cringe. Want a little bit of cringe here. Where's our hot nudes, though? What's broken with this? Where did it go wrong? Did I name something wrong? Variation name nudes. Item is nudes. So we need to check our CloudBot store. It's hot nudes. That's why. That's what it is. Let's make sure this is correct. Redeem nudes. Yep. Yep. So this is broken. This is broken. I'm about to fix this thing. We did this so long ago. Item name is hot nudes. There we go. He retracted it. See, it lives. It lives. Wait, no. What did he delete? What did this man delete? Alright, hot nudes is on cooldown, unfortunately. A little cringe keeps the harmony of chat in balance. I mean, who hasn't been cringe? You gotta cringe a little bit. It's what reminds us to be cool. Without cringe, cool never happens. The fuck am I doing? Nathan is a trained professional. Oh, jeez. It really behooves one to go above and beyond. Delivering the passion in the paint up that is intended in the sculpting of a pinup. Cool to cringe in the right measure. Yeah, exactly. Take your time. Take your time and really give it a go sometimes. I recommend to take your time and really give it a go sometime. And dig in on a pinup project of your own.
Well, you want to woo woo? It's that woo woo. You know what I'm saying?
I miss Mental, and whenever he's around, I always miss
That's
Mental.
only in the morning. He supposed to be up cooking
Yeah.
breakfast or something.
High and tired,
So
keep missing
that's like
words.
alarm
Yeah.
clock.
Mr. Mental, we need to get him to do the dang, we get him to train an AI model. That way we can always keep him around. Bees in chat for Mr. Mental. Who is not gone. He just on his actual time zone. I forgot what the fuck I'm trying to do. How do you do these damn... Put them in the canal. Put them in the canal. Oh yeah, let's Is that shirt live? Did we live that shirt? I don't think we ever did live that shirt. I don't think we did. Was it a t-shirt? Or was it a hat? I can't remember. I'm not seeing it. It's hidden for now. Yes. Well, we do have some fun shirts though. You can get yourself Nathan's Best Dong. Could be yours now for $13, it looks like. Join the Discord for discount code. Whether you want to Nathan's Signature Dong or Booth Battletech, you can get those at countryfriedminis.threadless.com. In my hometown, there's an area of bars and restaurants called Canal Place, and I always wanted to steal the C from the big sign. Anal Place, yes. I kind of want to do a t-shirt now of like a photorealistic bee with Anal Place as a sign over top of it. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. Open image in new tab. Like, yeah, we could just take this right here and then remove the C from it. That's hard to see. That's really poorly designed. That's really fucking hard to see. Dig in on a pinup project of your own. Pick whichever design stirs something deep in your guts and gonad, and go nuts, giving it your all for as long as you can. As long as you can go. I always find that taking a little extra time working on your chosen taking a little time working your model always leads to a much more satisfying result than a quick and dirty romp around the piece, romp around the that didn't get modded? No. Quick and dirty romp around the then a quick and dirty romp around. Quick and dirty romp. Quick and dirty. How do we make this a sex pun? Quick and dirty. Something. QWERTY romp. No. It'll be Gape Vapes with Dungeon Danielle in the new hit series from Dicks in the Dark. Ah, yes. Make sure to check out Dicks in the Dark if you like Dungeons and Dragons. Dicks in the Dark. That's YouTube at Dicks in the Dark. Then a quick and dirty pigmented plastering, quickie in the dirt, I've already said quick and dirty blah 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 blah. To much. Also, first off, I need a satisfying finish. That's a Dratney Dixon. I've ever not seen one. Yeah, it really is. A quick and dirty pigmented rub down. Pigment rub down. There we go. If you're gonna insist that your work is art and not porn, I'm leaving prawn right there. If your work is art and not prawn, take the time to actually make it into art. Your overall talents and ability with your tool will really benefit from getting in that deep practice. Getting in that deep effort. There we go. Use the 0. I don't know what you're saying, use the 0. Alright. Where was our last bit here? What's the last line we delivered? Oh, I think we're on a new voiceover. Yeah, we're on a new project. Boom. Okay. Enough with the whole zenithal thoughts here, and on into the actual meat of our process of toning up the meat of our lass. We're gonna do the majority of the work here by using super thin paints and building up some glazes all over her curves. Curves? What are curves? Can y'all tell me what are curves? Jesus. Oh, prawn. Yeah, I see. Hold on. Prawn. We're gonna do the majority of the work here by using super thin paints and building up some glazes all over her curves to develop highlights, shadows, and redness, giving the model some variation of tone to not only create visual interest, but also to render a suggestion of liveliness in our amply endowed still life of a pinup perched atop her girthy keg. Damn, I almost fucked that up. Curves. Yes, they're like curves but full of lerv. I agree. Though this is clearly a model made for the stereotypical male gaze, it doesn't mean that we can't take a little extra effort to ensure that the paint quality reads as beautiful even while plastered all over this beauty. Just because the mini is kinda cringe doesn't mean that the work you put into your rendition needs to be cringe. In fact, I dare say when painting up a pinup, it really behooves one to go above and beyond, delivering the passion in the paint up that's intended in the sculpting of a pinup. I don't like the delivery of that last sentence. So let's roll it way back. Let's put a division in there. Just because. Let's pop that in there. Just because the mini is kind of cringe doesn't mean that the work you put into your rendition needs to be cringe. Let's get a little different delivery there. In fact, I dare say when painting up a pinup, it really behooves one to go above and beyond, delivering the passion in the paint up that is intended in the sculpting of a pinup. I recommend that you take your time and really give it a go sometime and dig in on a pinup project of your own. Man, those fucking peaks. Pick whichever design stirs something deep in your guts and gonads, and go nuts, give it your all for as long as you can go. I always find that taking a little extra... God damn, look at those peaks. What the fuck? I gotta slow it down a little bit here. I'm a little too excitable, I think. I always find that taking a little extra time working your model always leads to a much more satisfying finish than a quick and dirty pigment rub down. There we go. If you're going to insist that your work is art and not prawn, take the time to actually make it into art. Your overall talents and ability with your tool will really benefit from getting in that deep effort. Practice makes perfect, I hear they say. I hear they say. And in this case, I also believe that longevity in I'm beating this fucking horse. I'm beating this dead horse off so hard. Longevity in your efforts also stems from that practice. Dungeon Danel and the Fremunda Fairies and the new crust punk band seen only in Dicks in the Dark. We're not here to goon paint all over our models like in the case of painting up 60,007 Space Marines so that we can have 60 seconds of a spurt of Warhammer 40K. No. That won't do at all. Instead, we're edging. Uh-oh, is this working? Yeah, okay. We're edging into a long session. Oh, come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Quit fucking me. Yeah. Every time it tries to feed an ad to my browser. Instead, we're edging into a long session of glazing those curves. so that babink, babink. I've been babinked. Oh, it's actually a babink. Babink. Instead, we're edging into a long session of glazing those curves so that we not only render a what am I looking for here? A painterly pa. I need like it is working, right? The babink is working. Yeah. That's what I thought. Babink is working. Babink. So only render a painterly product. A painterly product, but also reinforce our stamina when it comes to getting down for long periods of time, long periods of pigment application. God, it's just like the hoops and the gymnastics going through here just to make sex pun. His penis. What was the last thing we said here? I think it's a deep effort. Getting in that deep effort, yeah. Practice makes perfect, I hear they say, and in this case, I also believe that longevity in your efforts also stems from that practice. We're not here to goon paint all over our models like in the case of painting up 60,007 Space Marines so that we can have 60 seconds of a spurt of Warhammer 40k. No, that won't do it all. Instead, we're edging into a long session of glazing those curves so that we not only render a painterly product, but also reinforce our stamina when it comes to getting down for long periods of pigment application. Deferred. D for effort. Let's export this audio and see where it sets us. This will be Runa Track 2. Runa Track 2. Export. Let's pop Runa Track 2 into our project. Penis, 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 penis. You know what I'm saying? Why you no go? Why you no go? Computer. Why you no go, computer? How far did that put us into the... Ooh, hell yeah. We're like halfway done with the second part. Sometimes you have to use a bit of force to get the dick puns in. All depends on moist quotient. Wet dick. Will it even try? Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. And it's only moist because I peed all over it. It's so stupid. Alright, we're going to come in here. We're going to pop a -5 on that bad boy. And let's, better spit on it? No. Dry as the desert, baby. Alright, we're going to pause this and we're going to go back in and give this a little listen. See how it goes. Later, fella. Work calls. Have a good stream. You have you a good night, Mr. Graham. Catch you in the future. We'll be painting on your minis at some point in the future. In the very near future. Okay. Enough with the whole zenithal thoughts here and on into the actual meat of our process of toning up the meat of our lass. We're gonna do the majority of the work here by using super thin paints and building up some glazes all over her curves to develop highlights, shadows, and redness, giving the model some variation of tone to not only create visual interest, but also to render a suggestion of liveliness in our amply endowed still life of a pinup perched atop her girthy keg. Though this is clearly a model made for the stereotypical male gaze, it doesn't mean that we can't take a little extra effort to ensure that the paint quality reads as beautiful even while plastered all over this beauty. Just because the mini is kinda cringe doesn't mean that the work you put into your rendition needs to be cringe. In fact, I dare say when painting up a pinup, it really behooves one to go above and beyond, delivering the passion in the paint up that is intended in the sculpting of a pinup. I recommend that you take your time and really give it a go sometime and dig in on a pinup project of your own. Pick whichever design stirs something deep in your guts and gonads and go nuts, give it your all for as long as you can go. I always find that taking a little extra time working your model always leads to a much more satisfying finish than
I think we got to bring down my voice a little bit more.
If you're gonna insist
I also have to
that your
sleep.
work
Have a
is
good night,
art,
dude.
not
You have a good
brawn,
night, Mr.
take
Nathan.
the time to actually make it into art. Your overall talents and ability with your tool will really benefit from getting in that deep effort. Practice makes perfect, I hear they say, and in this case, I also believe that longevity.
All right, we got to roll this back a little bit here. Let's pull a -10 on that and see how that comes out.
That taking a little extra time working your model always leads to a much more satisfying finish than quick and dirty pigment rub down. If you're going to insist that your work is art and not prawn, take the time to actually make it into art. Your overall talents and ability with your tool will really benefit from getting in that deep effort. Practice makes perfect, I hear they say, and in this case, I also believe that longevity in your efforts also stems from that practice. We're not here to goon paint all over.
All right, I need to maybe work in like some kind of limiter in the Audacity end. Or maybe we could like push the hard limiter a little further here. Do our hard limiter at like a fucking -14 maybe. Let's go back and check it out. The peaks are really fucking hard on that track. Unfortunately, I'm really struggling to keep like a consistent volume.
Much more satisfying finish than a quick and dirty pigment rub down. If you're gonna insist that your work is art and not prawn, take the time to actually make it into art. Your overall talents and ability with your tool will really benefit from getting in that deep effort.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Practice makes perfect, I hear they say, and in this case, I also believe that longevity in your efforts also stems from that practice. We're not here to goon paint all over our models like in the case of painting up 60,007 Space Marines so that we can have 60 seconds of a spurt of Warhammer 40k. No, that won't do it all. Instead, we're edging into a long session of glazing those curves so that we not only render a painterly product, but also reinforce our stamina when it comes to getting down for long periods of pigment application.
Okay. Okay, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Where are we sitting at now? I think we could probably finish this segment here, and then I'll do another one of these sometime soon, and we'll get this video done and out and uploaded. I still need to do a few things. For one, I need the voiceover on the back end. We need the voiceover on the back end. We need a paint in a bag clip on the front end, like here. And then we need to do the reveal shot, and I need the rest of the images here, which I may have to pivot potentially from the original intention and see what we can't get done for these. There's 4 placeholders that need to go into it, or 4 like cue cards. Then we'll get it rolling. But you know what? I think that's about where I'm at tonight. I'm gonna call that good for this evening. I feel like we got a fuck ton done. So I'm gonna save this project as our script. Boom, we can continue that. We can save this
Bow. Save project. Save project. All right. Okay, with that, y'all, I think my ADD brain is just about spent on the project. This is way more productive than a regular editing. Yeah, exactly. It's been all over the place. Oh, let's see if the nudes worked. Is it going to come through? It should, right? It doesn't look like it's working. Yeah, something's broken about it. We'll fix that. We'll get that working. We'll get that working for the next stream. Anyhow, tomorrow I'm thinking we're in for a paint stream. Gonna be working. Yeah, it's something's broken with the hot nudes. I will work on that, Mr. Nate. I maybe didn't save the thing last time. That's possible. Anyhow, this has been another editing stream right here on Country Fried Minis. Keep an eye out for this if you like this kind of work. If you like seeing like what goes into video production and script work and voiceover, or if you want to inject your own silliness into the stuff that's going on here on Country Fried Minis, this is the ones you're going to be looking for, the video editing live streams. We'll be bringing these back in force. Obviously, those who know me within the community know that I'm pretty prone to inconsistent mental states. So long as I can remain cheery and peppy and manic, we can have these going forward. So watch for them. Watch for them. Come out, match that energy. Throw some penis jokes my way, and they might even make their way into the video. So if you did find this via the algorithm and watched it through the end, let me know in the comments down below. It's not just a ploy to get algorithmic engagement, but it is also a gauge to kind of see your thoughts on it if you weren't here in the live chat, you know? So anyhow, that's what I got tonight. We'll have another one of these soon. Lots of love. I've been Cameron on behalf of Country Fried Minis. This is the editing stream, and as always, I need y'all to remember to This stream has been brought to you by friends of the channel Dicks in the Dark. Make sure to check out the Dicks in the Dark right here every Wednesday on YouTube. That's at Dicks in the Dark. Penis, 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 penis.